Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new to the channel, as always, thanks for checking it out. I appreciate everyone stopping in, man, and check out, as usual, your favorite dude on the couch, Mr. No Frills. So, we're back today with a random vid. This is a vid I didn't plan on doing, but I don't know, man, I get antsy at home sometimes, and I should be gaming, but so yeah, sometimes I do sometimes a Tuesday vid, and this is sometimes a Tuesday vid. So I felt like diving into some TurboGrafx because I love the TurboGrafx, and even though I didn't have one growing up, it wasn't in the cards for us. I've just always felt like it was such an exotic system, man, just so interesting, and the games and stuff. It just seems so, I don't know, like, I don't know how to describe it. I guess so, it's like when there's like a political party and you've got your like donkeys and elephants, and then you have the independents, and then this was like the independent. So, but yeah, dude, I don't know. I've always just liked it, and wanted to show today favorite games that I like to play on this fella, the Turbo Express, actually. This is something I had once before and had to get rid of it because money was tight when I was in Alaska. I had other things that I needed to pay for. Heating oil was crazy expensive up there. Just priorities, man. There's always priorities, and sometimes you gotta get rid of the stuff, you know, that you love, and if you're lucky enough, it'll come back to you. But when it does, it usually comes back more expensive than the first time you had it. So then you're like, man, was it worth, you know, saving that money at the time? But it was worth it. Yeah, I was lucky enough to get this the second time. I had this the first time. It had the modded screen and glass lens and everything. And I love this, man. I love this so much. It's probably one of my favorite things in this game house. Just besides my retirement Game Boy box, my Shadow box. And I got this locally in town, which was so random, man. Like, so random. I was looking on eBay because I was always wanting to get this back, but just kind of hesitant. And so I always like peruse eBay and Mercari at night, you know, just like sitting there, just scrolling through all the I wish list. And anyways, I came across this thing and found out they were in town, and made a pretty good deal for it. It wasn't modded, actually, when I bought it from them. It was the normal screen. It was missing a couple pixels in the center. So I had it sent out to a friend who redid all of it for me. And then I just threw in a Turbo EverDrive cart, fully loaded with the entire import and US library. I do have a handful of carts. I do collect some carts that I want to have physically, but they are crazy expensive. I thought the GameCube was bad, but TurboGrafx is bonkers nuts in prices. So but yeah, I thought, man, it'd be cool to just jump into like a handful of my favorite TurboGrafx games, more so the ones I like to play on the go. I was fortunate enough too, when I reacquired it, I had the box too. A little beat up, but I love it, man. I love having it on my shelf with my I have a TurboGrafx mini system also, so it kind of looks cool up there to display. Maybe one day I'll get a TurboGrafx actual console, but for right now, I'm happy with, I have everything on emulation on so many other different devices, and the TurboGrafx 16 mini also fills pretty much like a void for me as far as games go. So, but yeah, let's me shut up and stop babbling. Let's dive into some TurboGrafx 16 games that I love. Let me know in the comments what games you love, and there could be a part 2. You never know with me, man. I just do whatever I want. So, but thanks for watching.
Are you one of us? 16-bit graphics, or one of them? 8-bit. Us. CD game sound. Them, not. Us. Them. Us. Turbo Express Portable. Buy TurboGrafx 16 now and get one of 38 selected games free.
Time to kick this off with AirZon. This is TurboGrafx sort of a rebranding of an image. They basically took Bonk and tried to make him, I guess, cooler and edgier, and then cleverly came up with the name Zonk. So they just changed the letter. That's what we're going with, huh, guys? We just went to the end of the alphabet. But this is fun. This is a fun side-scrolling shooter. You're still going to face the main antagonist, of course, King Drool, and then several other enemies that you're used to. I like this one. I love side-scrolling shooters when I'm on the go. They're always fun to play. And I could actually probably just do a whole other video on just side-scrolling shooters, but had to start it off with this one first. Interesting too, the power-ups in here. You can shrink, get really, really small, or you can get really, really large. That's kind of fun when you're playing this. Being small though is very annoying, I find. Here's PC Engine's Batman. So obviously this is an import. This is extremely loosely based on the 1989 movie with Michael Keaton. The only thing that it has from the 1989 movie is, well, Batman. There he is. And those are the Joker henchmen. And that, my friends, is about it. So this plays like Crater Maze, those style of games. You want to collect the items to clear a level. The enemies are not so bad. There are some that get kind of spazzo and go really, really fast, and they can be tough because they can come out of nowhere, and if they hit you, you lose a life. But for the most part, they're pretty calm and gingerly strolling around. Hit them with the batarang, make them disappear when you run into them. Eventually, though, they do regenerate, but you can use the item over there that you'll see in a second. It's like a bomb, and once you hit the bomb right here, boom, everyone's clear. It gives you a free open chance to gain all the items you can before they regenerate. But this is fun. The music's good. I love games like this. They keep me busy for hours when I'm traveling, so if you get a chance to play this, I highly suggest it. Alright, Bonk's Revenge. This is my favorite in the Bonk series. I love this game so much. I think the color alone, like it's just a gorgeous game. It really shines on the TurboGrafx 16. Definitely one of my favorites. I love platforming games anyways, so why not have something this amazing to look at when you're playing? This is a must play for sure. Obviously all of them are great, so I mean I do suggest playing them all, but man, I do love this one a lot. It looks so good too on the Turbo Express. Bravo Man. If you didn't know it, he'll say it every time he punches. Bravo. This is awesome though. This is an awesome game. He's a bionic superhero and he has telescopic limbs, which you can see here. And the best part about it is that you can control the distance as how far they go. So you can jab or you can just go the full length if you need to. Your main enemy here, of course, is the villainous Dr. Bomb, who, if you didn't know his name, he too will also remind you in the cutscenes where he will say, "I am Dr. Bomb." There he is. Love to have that hairdo. This is a fun game. I definitely love playing this one. It's a little difficult at times, but for the most part, I usually beat it. Okay, this has gotta be my favorite TurboGrafx 16 game. Crater Maze. I know a lot of people probably would wonder why, but I love these style of games, like I was saying with the Batman game. And again, it's very similar to Batman. You need to collect the items here. You've got treasure chests. It's always these red treasure chests. And instead of like in the Batman game where you can just throw a batarang, here you need to bury these critters, and they will respawn also after a little bit of time. But yeah, you bury them and then send them off, and then make your way around to get the rest of the treasure. And then once you've got all the treasures, then you'll unlock the key, which will open that red door up there, and that's how you clear every level. But it's fun. I love the music. It never bothers me that I'm pretty sure it's the same music every level, but it's a fun game. Honestly, this game actually makes me just really happy to play it. So. Here's one you might laugh me out of the video for, Packland. I don't know, but I mean, I'm sorry, man. I love this cartoon when I was a kid. I love the arcade when I was a kid. It's just something so amazing. He's just so colorful. It reminds me of the cartoon, which takes me back to a really happy time in my life. So it's cool to see, too, that some of the items you can push back on and release like secrets. So like if you push back on one of those hydrants in the beginning, you can unlock like protective helmets, or in this case coming up here, I think I actually ran like upside down. It's interesting to note too that church in the background, it's different in different regions. Not all of them will have a cross on the top. So depending on the region version you play on, you may not actually have the cross on top of the church there. So yeah, so you just found a hidden power up by moving that cactus. If you didn't know too, this game actually paved the way for Super Mario Brothers, Ghosts and Goblins, Alex Kidd, and Wonder Boy. This was like the original right here. This is what started those style of games. So this game has a lot of history to it, and I don't know if a lot of people know that or not. And I think that's why I love it so much. And again, if you want to laugh, that's okay. Ninja Spirit, this is another awesome one. The story is a young ninja who lost his father to a mysterious half-man, half-beast creature. And you're on basically a quest to avenge him in basically an alternative feudal Japan. A lot of people love this one because of the graphics, the gameplay. The solid controls really is what sticks out for me the most, but the difficulty, that's the one thing I think that people were definitely like, I hate this game. I hate this game so much. But I don't know, man. I mean, games back then during the 90s, they were just so hard anyway, so we didn't have save states or rewinds or anything like that now, you know. So I think that's what made a lot of us some really good gamers. But this one's an awesome game, and I love to play this no matter how many times I get killed or how difficult it is. Here's Die Hard. This is also supposedly loosely based on the actual movie. I threw this one in here. It is a favorite of mine, believe it or not, because I just love Die Hard. The game itself is very repetitive, though. The enemies, you start off punching until you whoop somebody and take his gun. There you go. Classic John McClane. This is basically like a Commando, Bloody Wolf style, like run and gun. And it's also interesting to note that you don't start off in Nakatomi Plaza, which I'm sure you gathered there by the forest here. And then the next stage, you make your way across this, like a swamp, like a wetland. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting take on the movie. You do eventually, though, make your way to Nakatomi Plaza, which I'll show here in a second. I tried to cover, this is probably the longer game I covered out of all the different ones to show you the variety of games that are in here. But here we are now in Nakatomi Plaza. And I'm just kind of just speed running through a little. I'm taking hits and whatnot just because I'm trying to just show off the three levels of variety. But again, I like this one. I like it for what it is. It can, like I say, get a little repetitive, but I also forgot that that's a hole I can fall through, and I'm dead. And then interestingly enough, I turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know who that is. That is not Bruce Willis. Splatterhouse, man. Of course this was gonna be in here, man. Of course this is one of my favorite games. I love this mindless violence. Look up in the screen there too. I put the Japanese version so you can see that they left a white Jason Voorhees style mask in their version, whereas the American version, they were like, I don't know, we're gonna get sued. So his is red, and I don't know if a lot of people know that or not, but I think it's an interesting fact. But this is a cool story. Rick and his girl Jennifer, they go to this place to seek refuge from a storm known as the Splatterhouse, where they've heard rumors of mysterious experiments going on. She gets kidnapped. He awakens in a dungeon, and he's got the terror mask on, and he's now set out to go save his girlfriend and kick everyone's ass on the way to do it. So this is an awesome game though, man. Even the arcade one, of course, is awesome. Hate those things, man. Alright, this takes us to the last one I threw in here, Space Harrier. I love Space Harrier on everything and anything. My favorite version that's not the arcade is it is an arcade version, but it was for the Sega Astro City. I have the Sega Astro City Mini, and it's got that version on there, and it is just fantastic. But for an on-the-go version, this one right here is pretty cool for me. The sound could be a little bit better, especially when he gets hit, but again, this is just for something I like to play on the go. You just basically annihilate everything on the screen. I mean, you can even take out those trees, man. Like, take that, nature. See, that's karma. Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready. All right, well, so there you have it. That was my list of favorite TurboGrafx 16 games I like to play on the go. The Turbo Express is one of my most taken systems when I do travel. I did take it to Italy when I went to Italy, and I also took the Game Boy, and then I did a funny picture of them battling in the Coliseum, which got a lot of interesting stares from the locals and tourists. But anyways, yeah, I love it a lot, and you could see some of the games in there I chose. I felt were pretty interesting. I don't know if a lot of people know of that Batman version. It was released in Japan, but I mean, obviously, like I said, through emulation, you can have it downloaded or play. You can just go buy it if you really want it. Crater Maze, man, I am addicted to Crater Maze. I love that game. It's similar to Batman, I guess, that style of game, in the grid. But I've played Crater Maze all the way to the end. I haven't quite finished Batman yet. I put in Die Hard. I thought Die Hard also was an interesting one, even though that too is an import. And some of the other games are pretty, you can't go wrong with a Bonk's Adventure. Bravo Man, I thought was pretty fun. But yeah, I thought for me personally, those are some of my favorites. That literally every time I turn on the Turbo Express, those are games that I like to play. They're quick and fun, and you can drop in, drop out. But anyways, as always though, Let me know in the comments, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you got a favorite one, or maybe a game I could have mentioned that I didn't, because again, though, this was my list. But I always like to hear what everyone has to say in the comments. And if you've been watching my channel long enough, man, I will talk back to every single one of you. It's a thing I started when I had Facebook. It's a thing I'll keep doing with YouTube. So people know they're heard, man. People should know, like, if they comment, it's not just an empty comment. So but I appreciate everyone watching as always. I know there's greater channels and better choices. So yeah, your support does not go unnoticed. It is loved immensely. And I will definitely see you in the next vid. And again, just thanks for watching. I appreciate you.